Shalom. All praise, honor, and glory unto the Most High, Yahweh Hashem, Yahushua Hashem, Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, and salutations to all you sincere kin. And this is your brother Abawan back again with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem, Yahushua Hashem, Kodash. And once again, we're seeing more and more of the gradualism towards the MOTB. And let me just start by saying that cryptocurrency is not the MOTB, okay, but rather it will be the currency, right, or the format, the framework for the currency that will be used during when the MOTB is pushed, or rather, of course, the MOTB being the mark of the beast, is going to be the framework or the format for the mark of the beast when that currency is being pushed. And that's what we're going into right now. So it's not going to be that, when you get the C heap, you're going to be, your Bitcoin is not going to turn into the official currency. No, but rather it's going to be these CBDCs, okay, central bank digital currencies, or central bank controlled digital currencies, right? So this is an article from TechPoint Africa. How cryptocurrency can solve the challenges of cross-border payments for African traders, right? So basically what's happening right now is that there is becoming more and more of a push for the acceptance and use of a cryptocurrency here in Africa. I even have another article here about how Ethiopia, because of its lower cost of electricity, is actually promoting crypto mining in its nation, okay. And then you now have all these other nations that are looking for a new way to de-dollarize, right? So you have various of these tech analysts recommending the use of crypto for payments in an effort to de-dollarize the de-dollarize African nations, okay. So this is not something that is official or something that is going to happen or something that will happen here in Africa, right? But rather this is more of a recommendation, okay. And like I said, the gradualism towards the MOTB. So let's just go into the article. The need for a better payment solution, right? Because you have a big issue here in Africa, right, and here in Nigeria as well, about how difficult it is to transfer money internationally. So you want to transfer money from Nigeria, hell, even to another account in Ghana, in another African nation. If you don't, use or if that African nation doesn't have a bank that operates here in Nigeria, right, it's very difficult to transfer funds from one place to another. So basically, this is a recommendation of how to transfer that money, right? And the best way to do that, one of the easiest ways to transfer money internationally, is through the use of crypto, okay. So now you have the writer of this article, Victor Olaniyan, recommending that crypto will be the best way to solve this issue of payments here in Africa, and even in Africa internationally as well. But there are reasons why it's so difficult to get money from to move money out of Africa, right? But of course, let's go into the article, okay. I met Nnamdi at an event and learned that he's an international trader importing goods from China and Vietnam. During our discussion, I discovered his strong passion for cryptocurrency, which kept surfacing in our conversation. Curious, I asked why he was such a strong advocate for crypto, especially given the Nigerian government's current stance on it. Because you have a lot of countries that have still banned, the use of cryptocurrencies in them, even here in Nigeria. And I believe, China also has banned their cryptocurrency, right? Or is the use of it in transactions. So let's continue reading. He shared a story about a remarkable event where crypto saved his business trips in Vietnam. When all other payment methods failed, despite having cards that were supposed to work there, they were declined. Fortunately for him, the seller accepted payment in crypto, which allowed him to complete his transactions Namdi had since then he always considered crypto first for transacting large sums of money, especially when purchasing goods overseas. He also believed this scenario is common among many international traders in Nigeria, noting that even larger companies sometimes accept crypto payments, though they may not publicly disclose it. For Nnamdi and many other African traders, particularly those in Nigeria, cross-border payments have always posed a significant challenge. Traditional payment methods often come with high costs, long delays, and security concerns that can hinder business growth. Cryptocurrency, with its innovative technology, offers a promising solution to those persistent issues, right? Because, like I said, international trade is very difficult here in Nigeria. Even PayPal, right? You can't really transfer or receive money. You can transfer money out with PayPal, but you can't receive money with PayPal, right? Even though Elon Musk is supposed to be an African. But that Musk is a devil, man. And you don't really have any other form of international payment methods here in Nigeria, and like I said, the reason why these things are blocked is so that the banks here in Nigeria can make more money through their ridiculously high transfer rates, right? And through the ridiculously high taxes, and also the transfer rates and the rate of transfer in or rather not transfer rate but the exchange rate in Nigeria. So that's why you have the different options for international transactions are limited, right? So let's go back to, let's just leave the article alone, because I'm not really, because this article is just for the sake of highlighting a particular topic, which is the idea, or rather the notion to you know expand the use of cryptocurrency here in Nigeria. And really, this is all just for the sake of pushing towards the MOTB, like I said, the mark of the beast. And this is another article that I guess it's not really loading. You have to hold on. Let me go back to the main. Here it is. All right, so let's try that again. And it's not loading. So let me go to this. Let's open this one instead. Let's see if it will work. Oh, here it is. 10 countries. Bitcoin mining takes off in Africa, powered by green energy. Right, so let's read it. Across Africa, a new digital gold rush in the form of Bitcoin mining is underway, thanks to cheap electricity. China's crypto mining ban, a tech-savvy population, and supportive regimes. At least 10 countries in the continent are attracting large-scale Bitcoin mining operations, even as cryptocurrency halved on April 19. While there may be less than 2 million Bitcoins left to mine out of the possible 21 million, mining activities in Africa have been greeted with excitement, with new jobs being created and foreign currency injected into the economy. The global cryptocurrency mining market grew to 1.92 billion in 2022 and is projected to hit 7 billion by 2032. Africa wants a piece of this market as Bitcoin's value keeps rising. Despite some countries experiencing power cuts and the fact that Bitcoin mining is an energy-intensive venture, their citizens see crypto as a new mode of store of value and an alternative to fluctuating value of local currencies. In most of the countries, miners use green energy. Okay, so basically they are trying to promote the mining of Bitcoin here in Africa. But like I said, all this is just gradualism, the gradualism towards the MOTB, getting you desensitized to the idea of using cryptocurrency, or rather I should say digital currency. Okay, and it's going to, and of course right now you have different nations that are imposing bans on these things, and the main reason for that is because they are trying to introduce their own version of the digital currency, which they are which will eventually once all the framework is set up, okay, with the infrastructure is set up, which is the 5G and all the all the other forms of infrastructure that is needed to support the digital currency setup is going to be used as a fiat ultimately in these countries, right? Even here in Nigeria, you already have a CBDC. It's called the e naira. Let me open that up, right? It's called the e naira, and here it is. So basically, this is the digital current. This is the CBDC that exists here in Nigeria, the e naira. Okay, so let me just go back to this and let's just use the AI overview. The e naira is the central bank digital currency issued by the Central Bank of Nigeria as a legal tender, the digital form of the naira, and designed to facilitate simple, safe, and fast transactions. And I haven't really seen this e naira being used anywhere, to be honest, right? But like I said, it is because the infrastructure for it to be used is not ready yet. So basically, the idea is to prepare the infrastructure for the use of this currency. Okay, and that's what's currently coming here to Nigeria. So yeah, but as we know, all this is just in preparation for the MOTB, and that's what is being um, prepared by Esau Edom, the so-called red man that is ruling over the earth, right? This is all being done for the sake, or rather, in order to push that MOTB, because that's ultimately what Esau is after, right? And the main reason why we say that is because this cryptocurrency, or rather this digital currency, is going to be the method in which buying and selling, or in other words transactions, will take place. Okay, especially when you understand the convenience of using these digital currencies to trade. Okay, so you have, through the blockchain, of course, right, instant transfers, basically, or more or less, instant international transfers anywhere on the earth, right, through the blockchain. you know no longer a need to, let's just get those precepts. Okay, so the precept I want to get is Revelation 13 verse 7. Revelation 13 verse 17. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Right, and the method, or rather the buying and selling, okay, or the currency that will be used to buy or sell, will be the digital currency, whether it's in form of the CBDCs that exist all throughout these countries, or another you know another form of digital currency that will be created by Esau Edom. Because aside from, right, the ease of transfer, the ease of conversion as well. You convert one cryptocurrency to another. You instantly convert Bitcoin to Ethereum, instantly convert Ethereum to XRP, and vice versa. The ease of just converting one currency to another instantly. That also is going into this, right, the convenience of this MOTB. Because a lot of people will take the mark, because it's just so easy, and it's just so easy to use, right? But you also have far more people, because of the men of the Lord, because the alarm has been sounded, because the men of the Lord are constantly blowing the trumpet and warning our people, and warning the people of this world about what this MOTB truly is. You're going to still have a lot more people that are ultimately going to be forced to receive that mark, because it's not just about buying or selling, right? It's not just about getting the mark, and it's having all your information and your medical records, and it's not just about you being unable to exist or operate, right? Whether it's to find work, or education, or housing, or access any of the amenities and the infrastructure that exists in Esau's kingdom. It's not just about that, it's also about control, right? The reason why this MOTB is being pushed by Esau Edom, the so called red man, is in order to have control over you Israelites, right? Not just you Israelites, but in fact all of you people out here, even you lower level Edomites as well, because hey, you already see how, because a lot of people already understand how easy it is for these blockchain networks and these cryptocurrencies to be hacked, right? So Esau is, through this MOTB, is going to exercise full control over the lives of you people that are, of anybody that receives the MOTB. Okay, so he can shut off the C heap, he can deduct any all of your current they can deduct all of your digital currency as much as he wants, in the form of taxes, in the form of maintenance fees, in the form of charges, in the form of this, all kinds of different made up charges in order to deduct your digital fees. Okay, and it can also use the MOTB, because you see the same thing happening right now all over the world, even here in Nigeria, where your digital ID is connected to basically everything that you have, especially on the internet. So your digital ID is connected to your phone number, is connected to any form of identification you have, so your passports, right? Your we don't have social security here in Nigeria. We have NIN, which is a national um, ID number, or something like that, where it's connected to your BVN, bank verification number, which those BVNs are connected to all your bank accounts, right? So and it's connected to your email address as well, your registered official email address. So basically the idea is to get and keep everything connected in Esau's system, so that Esau can easily control everything, right? So that single C heap can hold your employment information, your medical information, all your bank details, right? Your phone number, your phone and your mobile information as well. And that's the reason why Esau keeps pushing this C heap, especially by way of at least right now, through employment, that before you can enter this work office you have to C heap yourself, so I can use the C heap as a key in order to enter your office, right? Because that's ultimately the different, not just that like I said, that just gradually in the beginning process, because that's ultimately how it's going to be. It's going to be different methods to get C heaps, and different C heaping stations that exist. You'll even have a C heaping stations, right, in hospitals as well. In before I already know how Esau would push it. He'll push it as as progress, as a way to more easily access medical services, especially in Babylon, where going to the doctor costs an arm and a leg, right? You don't have free healthcare, and you don't have a subsidized healthcare, but rather you have big pharma and the government basically price gouging the hell out of drugs, right? Imagine it being 1,000 times more expensive to get drugs in Babylon than even here in Nigeria, where you have a lower access of drugs. But hey, most of the drugs that are here in Nigeria anyway, allegedly of course, Isoidom is most likely spiking it and putting some, things into it and making it less, because that's how these devils operate, man. But anyway, anyway, back on topic at hand, right? Right, so back on the topic at hand. So let's go at the book of Revelation 13, verse 16, because this is the precept that basically breaks down what the MOTB will be. Okay. So Revelation 13, verse 16. And of course the he being this beast system. Okay. So it's not just going to be one single individual that is pushing this MOTB forward, but rather it's going to be Esau's system pushing this MOTB thing forward. That's why you have so many different RFID micro implantable C-HIP companies that exist. Not just Musk with his neural link, which of course that Musk is going to play a major part in bringing this MOTB, right? But like I said, it's not just Musk with his neural link. It's also various other, I think ID 2020 as well, right? It's also various other different sea heaping companies, right? Because we are dealing with not just a single man, right, but the entire system, an entire government, okay, a rulership. Revelation 13, verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, right? And that's now where the digital currency comes in, because you will be unable to buy or sell without that digital currency, and more importantly, without that C-HIP as well, okay? And the main purpose of the C-HIP, right, or at the very least the C-HIP that it will probably be the most popular, right, the one that everybody will be getting, is the one that is used for transactions. Just if you have both in the both the ones that are implanted into the hand, right, or the forehead, the ones that are used for transactions, okay. And you will be unable to function, right, to buy, to sell, to live, to go to different stores, okay, without this MOTB. And that is the times that we're coming into, and that's the reason why you see you have different camps that are talking about how, oh, well, the men of the year of the great millstone speak too much about the MOTB. Well, of course we do, because as we are coming into those times, right, it is more important, relevant more than ever to speak on these things, because this is immediate prophecy, okay. This is something that is happening, that is coming very soon. So of course we have to constantly go into it and constantly beat it into the heads of our people that this is coming, okay. Right, so with that, let me end the video right there. Once again, all praises, honor and glory unto the Most High. Yahweh Sham Yahweh Ba Shamra Kakwadash Wa Abad Babal, and through the Spirit. I hope you are calm and you are quite edified. Shalom.